You cannot afford to be driving around in your own vehicle without the proper coverage. It's like driving a virtual time bomb. This is not an exaggeration at all. Think about it carefully. Getting behind that wheel means you're exposing yourself to various risks. You cannot control everything, particularly where third parties are involved. While you're on the road, you also have to consider not just yourself but other vehicles and pedestrians as well. You also have to be careful not to damage any real or personal property. However, contingencies cannot be avoided at all times. What would you do now if you don't have insurance? Getting the right coverage is indispensable, whether you're driving a new vehicle or a second-hand one. The only difference would be in the amount of premiums you pay. This is what basically discourages a lot of people. However, this is not something that should prevent you from getting covered. For one thing, there are plenty of options out there. For another, there are also so many auto insurance companies to choose from these days. Hence, there's no reason why you won't be able to get a good deal. In other words, car insurance is only expensive if you don't know how to consider the essentials. Now, the first thing you should keep in mind when hunting for the most suitable policy is to determine the extent of your coverage needs. For example, the law requires that all vehicles should have liability coverage. This is pretty much standard. However, you may want additional protection on top of that. That depends on the kinds of risks you and your vehicle are exposed to on a daily basis. For example, you may want to have comprehensive insurance to answer for other contingencies other than a collision. It can answer even for incidents of vandalism or theft. Second, you should consider the age and condition of your vehicle. If it is fairly new, then you can probably reduce the coverage on some aspects, like your towing coverage. But if you have a vehicle that's quite old, you'll have to spare for both towing and rental coverage. Rental coverage becomes important if you are at fault and your car is damaged. Third, make sure you shop around thoroughly before deciding on a car insurance company. Utilize your online resources to scout for the most reputable ones with fair and reasonable packages. Lastly, never hesitate to consult a professional auto insurance agent if you have doubts with some aspects of an